Well, it took 5 years, but we had done it. An 85-minute feature film was now completed and done without a budget. I think back to the day when the film was finally completed, and as I'm sure you can imagine, it was a mixed bag of emotions. The first person I talked about it with and called was my friend Rory Farrelly, who played the lead role and had been on this entire journey with me. As usual, we laughed about some stuff, we said some silly things to each other, and we danced around acknowledging it all, really. I suppose both of us were unsure of what to actually say. Since everything had been going on for so long, I think neither of us was able to notice the moment when it finally did arrive. Plus, we were probably both unsure of what come next or what this actually meant. But for a few very brief moments, we did take in the full extent of what had happened and what we were able to create. But it certainly wasn't a phone call where we were bragging about it or telling each other how great we are. I doubt either of us would have let the other get away with such nonsense without being brought crashing back down to earth with a harsh remark or two. The tone of the conversation was more along the lines of, right, well, that's that then, I guess. I'll speak to you soon. I made a few more phone calls to people involved, but there wasn't many phone calls to make because there was hardly anyone involved making the film. Like when the filming stage was wrapped up, once the film was finally completed, there wasn't a party, no fanfare or any fireworks. As before, most people were preoccupied with their own lives. This was also literally just a few days before Christmas 2019, so life was hectic for most. 2 years of editing and post-production meant that some of the others involved, particularly those who had appeared in the film, had all moved on long ago anyway. Later I was treated to a nice celebration dinner by some close friends, which was nice. Of course, it would be silly to say that I wasn't happy that it was now completed, because I was. But in truth, I wasn't ecstatic. I wasn't jumping up and down or dancing through the streets about it. Looking back, I actually think it was very difficult for me to even comprehend that the film was finished or to have any clear thoughts about it at the time. I was still way too closely attached to everything. It was all still too raw and recent and too close to the long road it had taken to get there and what it had taken out of me. I also think I was slowly realizing that there was now going to be this massive void in my life without the film to be made. I bet if you ask someone who had just completed an ultra marathon spanning hundreds of miles over days of harsh terrain to give you their immediate thoughts the very second they crossed the finish line, the chances are it wouldn't be an entirely pleasant comment, even though they had just accomplished something intense, something they had set out to do and thought about for a very long time. It would actually take me much longer, years even, to able to actually comprehend it better of having a completed feature film, since the person I had become during those 5 years to get it made was still way too present at the time. With something like this, you enter into it at the beginning with no clear indication of a completion date at all, really, and then wait blindly for a very uncertain day to arrive. And when it does arrive, it isn't really what you anticipated. Because I think that kind of prolonged uncertainty, along with many other things, if extended over a very long period of time, eventually takes its toll, especially mentally. Looking back, I wish I had known more from the start about what this path really demands and about the things that matter far more than cameras, budgets or industry access, although if I had known, would I have still gone through with it? The truth is, making the film almost broke me.